Other interesting culture news, you have Anheuser Busch doing another tweet of a sleeping cute Dalmatian, and even that fails, which again shows how utterly bad they've failed. Because it takes a special amount of talent to piss people off where even a cute Dalmatian isn't enough to save your brand. Like, they don't even show the beer in the actual tweet. It's literally just a dog sitting on like a golf cart. It looks like it's sleeping. But that's how much you've alienated your customers. That's how much they've pissed off everyone. And also, it doesn't make any sense in terms of product placement because there's no product that's actually placed. So they get an F for marketing in that regard as well because they don't name the product. They don't show the product. Unless the dog's job is to guard the hops fields or the factory. Although that'd be perhaps one of the most useless jobs because who would ever steal Bud Light? I can't imagine how bad your life would have to be where you actually steal Bud Light and then drink it. I mean, my God, that would be that. The amount of bad things to go wrong in your life to be to that point, I couldn't help but feel sorry for that soul. Now, it looks like their quote where they have this Dalmatian sitting on a golf cart. What they said on the textually was, quote, "Caught someone sleeping on the job. He's cute though, so we'll allow it," unquote. Which, again, moronic. If it was a fire station, that would be great, but again, you make debatable beer. It's kind of beer. Mostly piss water and pond water. They actually probably save a lot of money with their ingredients. They just go down to the local cesspool, just drink. Yeah, but I digress partially. Now, that tweet was a couple weeks back, and it got 44.5 thousand views. Which, again, their channel, Anheuser Busch, isn't as popular as Budweiser or Bud Light, because Anheuser Busch is the parent company, and most consumers will follow the individual brands like Bud Light or Budweiser. So I understand they don't have the largest following for that specific account, but of the 44.5 thousand views, they only got 404 likes, which I couldn't even see. IT pun, 404 not found, but I digress. That like ratio is at 0.91%, also known as terrible. Now, of course, it was ratioed even more when the top comments were all pejorative to the main tweet. Now, one of the top ones with the best ratio was someone who tweeted, and they said, "What pronouns does he identify with?" Which obviously is a pun on the former brand ambassador, Dylan Mulvaney, which Anheuser-Busch, moronic, as for the business blunder of the century, hired to be a brand ambassador and gave Dylan a commemorative can for celebrating allegedly 365 days of being a woman, even though Dylan never got the surgery or took the drugs, and again is a biological man, which is a whole controversy that led to the boycott. Now, that tweet asking what are the dog's pronouns, that got 1,188 views. And it got 95 likes. 95. That gives you a ratio of 8%, which 8% is a hell of a lot better than 0.91%. Now, the other top tweet, and this is again going by the number of people who liked it, is another tweet saying, and again, you almost can't laugh at it, or I can't not laugh at this. It says, quote, "Poor dog doesn't know he works for Budweiser," unquote. That response tweet got 1,250 views and 92 likes, giving you a ratio of 7.36%. So even the parent company is getting ratioed continually on Twitter. And again, I don't see how they turn this around. The only theory I've had, and again, this isn't too original because the founder's grandson, who invented Anheuser-Busch Budweiser, he actually offered to buy back the company, and that might be the only way you can gain sales back. And again, that actually wouldn't help InBev because they would spin off the company or they'd sell it. So they would gain in terms of they could sell it for something, but they wouldn't get the upside of the increased sales. So again, there's not much incentive to them do that except maybe salvage the brand and get something. But I suspect the brand will never go to zero in terms of value because there are people still buying it, albeit 30% less people, but there's some people out there who apparently are okay with everything they've done. Or they just don't care and they don't mind that they're supporting that company. That's their decision, but the free market shall prevail. It'll be interesting to see how much more do sales continue to decrease. They already lost the number one beer of the month. That used to be Bud Light, specifically, for 20 years. Unprecedented success. And of course, they shot themselves in the foot brilliantly thanks to Alyssa Heiderchild, the first female marketing manager in the alcohol industry. She bragged about it on her LinkedIn. She's not on LinkedIn anymore. But they're the best beer of the month. And then, just a couple days ago, they lost the #1 beer of the year in North America, which the year isn't over. That just shows you how much they've gained in sales. They surpassed Bud Light. Because Bud Light, at the beginning of the year, you got January, February, March. Those are 3 solid months where they sold a bunch of their piss water. Then April 1st came, which was, if they should just come out and say it was a joke, because it took place on April 1st. But it was not a joke. It was they were intention. That was I was about to say a cognitive decision. I debate how many cognitive decisions Alyssa Heiderchild has ever made in her life, or she has the ability to make that. But it is an intentional decision, nevertheless, where they chose Dylan Mulvaney to be their brand ambassador, and they've lost $20 to $28 billion in market valuation and $390 million in sales compared to the same time period last year. So they're no longer the #1 beer in America of the year and the month. And it'll be interesting to see where they go from here. But they said they're going to spend a lot of money on marketing, more than they ever had before. Let's see if any of it works. Or perhaps they'll just provide free entertainment because it's so mediocre, hilarious, and just rudimentary to say the least in terms of marketing strategies. It'll be interesting to see, but I always say, time shall tell. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, we're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers by the end of August, so you can click that button. We greatly appreciate it. Also, don't forget to take the time to like as well as comment. The feedback is greatly appreciated. It helps the channel grow and develop. Also, and lastly, don't forget to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.